Hi, I am Amalie Schaefer with Systematic Excellence Consulting, and today I am going to go over how to cut down on the overwhelm inside of ClickUp. I hear that all the time, like I just want to see what I have due, or I want to see what my team has due, and it just feels overwhelming to see all the tasks, and totally understandable. So I'm going to show you a couple of ways to kind of cut down on that noise and just focus on the priorities. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the everything view, which I really like the everything view. So when I click on that over here on everything, it is going to show me everything in this list view. All things that have due dates, things that don't have due dates, things that don't have assignees. Everything I have in here, it's going to show me that broken down um, by the lists and folders. So one thing I can do is I can set up a very specific list view. So let's create a new list view. Oh, I don't know why it's not doing it. We're going to do a new list view. And in this list view, I am going to filter out by due date. And I want to see just the next 7 days. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to hit save on that. So now it's pulled the tasks from everything into what I have due in the next 7 days. Now let's say I want to actually group this by assignee because I want to see who has what due when. So then it's also going to group ones that do not have assignees, right? But as you can see, I'm in here twice because this is our test account. And let's say we want to save that. So this is now grouped by assignee, but let's say we want to group by due date. So now it's going to group by due date. So it's going to show me what's due today, tomorrow, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. All right, so that's another way to do that. So now we can see here that it is grouped by our assignee, and we looked at the due date. Maybe we want to see this month. Maybe we want to see everything that's due this month, and we want to organize that by due date. So it's going to show us everything that's overdue and then everything that's due in the future. So that's one way of looking at it. You can do the same thing with the board view. If we want to look at the calendar view, again, this is everything. So now what we're looking at is everything that's scheduled in the next month. And we can just look at what's assigned to me. So that'll show that, and this shows anything that's unscheduled that's assigned to me and anything that's overdue. Maybe we want to see assignees, so it's going to show me everything that's unscheduled, overdue. So let's say we want to see what is assigned to me here. Whoops. And this will even actually break it down, which is kind of nice. So like, what do I have due? Today I can see all of those things listed here. And I can then look at, okay, maybe we want to see unassigned tasks. And so then we can maybe start assigning these tasks that are unassigned. Let's add, let me uncheck unassigned, but let me see what's assigned to myself. So now I can see, okay, what is assigned to Amalie? What does she have coming up? And then, like I said, so you can organize the list. So there's a lot of different ways that you can organize the list view or the calendar view in order to see what the priorities are. There are other views too. I don't typically use a lot of them, but you could set the same thing up in the Gantt view, maybe the table view, even the workload view or something like that. But I typically stick in the list view, sometimes board, but not typically. Now this is going to show everything in the board view, which so you can see that straight across there. And again, if you want to, let's filter out, we want to group by due date, and we'll do next 7 days. right? So it's going to go ahead and filter that out for us so we can see it. And you can see it across here. Let me just pull this over so you can see it. Oops, I didn't mean to go that fast. And so it's going to let us see what we have going on and what's due in the next 7 days. So if you prefer the board view, you can look at it that way. All right, so again, there's ways to do it. So in the everything view, you can filter this out so that you can just see, maybe you just want to see what's due tomorrow, and that's okay too. So we could just set it up to show me, okay, what is due tomorrow? What am I preparing for? Okay, there's some things that are unassigned that I put a due date to, so I definitely need to get them assigned to someone. So I can go ahead and, add these in here, make sure that they're assigned to someone. I can even set my priorities. I can put that maybe this is the start date, maybe tomorrow is the start date, so I want to set that. I can add this, and we can look at if I want to see, what the time estimate is for them. If I've set time estimates, we can see due date, start date. You can drag these over so you can kind of see to get yourself organized. And we can even group by assignee. So then I can see, okay, what does Amalie or, my other team members have due for that day? So doing the everything view and then filtering out and grouping by can help you organize your day or your week. The other way to do it is in dashboards. So I'm going to show you a couple different ways. There is obviously like unlimited amount of ways to do this, but I'm just going to show you a couple. So let's say you want a task list, and you want, let's say we want to do all of these. We want to do, all the areas. So we want to select all, and we want to group by assignee. We want to include subtasks, and we'll filter out by due date, and we just want to see the next 7 days. So now I'm going to add that widget. And so what it's going to do is it's going to go ahead and organize that just like in that list view we were looking at. The only difference is this sets it in a dashboard versus it being in the main spaces view. So now this is broken down again, just like we were looking at, where it's split up by person. It shows us the unassigned ones, like, oh my gosh, this is due. I need to make sure this gets assigned. The other thing you could do, so let's say, I'm just going to go ahead and remove this, but let's say we want to see a task list and we want to select certain folders. So let's pull, these are just some templates that I have. Let's say that these were client folders, and we could even do specific lists, like I just want to see, this list or whatever, but let's say we want to see this space. This is maybe our client space. So I go ahead and I say I want to do that, and I want to group by due date. I want to include subtasks, and then I want to filter. Yeah, let's just do this. No, I'm going to group by due date. So go ahead and add this. So now what it's going to do is it's going to take that folder, that space, and it's going to break down when things are due. So these have no due date. So obviously that would be important to do that. And so that way we can kind of see, okay, like what's coming up for client work, if we want to do that. Or let's say, let's do this. Let's do task list. I want to group by, let's see. I want to group by assignee, and let's say we just want a specific list. So let's say it's this list. Maybe it's each phase 1 that we want to see. Well, I'll come up here and we'll do phase 1. And we'll go ahead and we want to include subtasks and add a widget. So then once I open this up, now it's going to show me what each person has assigned or that these are unassigned so I can see that. So there's a lot of flexibility in the way to kind of cut down on the overwhelm. And really what it comes down to is, what do you need to see? What information do you need to see? Like, do you want to see who the assignee is? Do you want to see what the due dates are? Do you want to see, and then what other information over here as far as the custom fields do you want to see? But like I said, when you're trying to cut down on overwhelm, I recommend doing, like, if you just want to see what's due the next day or coming up, then doing the list view, I think, is really helpful in being able to break that down. Add a new one. Let's do templates. Let's do due date. And let's filter by assignee. And let's say the assignee is me. So now let's go ahead and hit that. So now what it's going to do is it's just going to show me what's due for me tomorrow. And so you can set this up as like my to-do list, and you could do one for each of your team members, something like that. So again, there's a lot of different ways to look at this, so that way you're not having to like go through each list or each space and folder and list to figure out. You can really cut down on that overwhelm by setting the different filters. So again, the first way I showed you is in everything by setting specific list views, grouping by specific things, and then the other way is to set up dashboards for that. So I hope that was helpful. Again, my name is Amalie Schaefer. I'm with Systematic Excellence Consulting. If you have any questions or you're looking for one-on-one support for getting this set up, feel free to leave any questions in the comments, and there will be a link to book a call if you're looking for one-on-one support. All right, thank you so much. I look forward to seeing you next time.